Well, here we are. I want to share more of my frequency with everyone, so thank you for being here today with me. Thank you. And let's get right to it. I just want to say that my journey into understanding what I have to do for myself, at what point did I say there's something with the food? I'm already that tropical, I grew up knowing what's fresh was from the dirt, smelling organism, poking at the insects, the trees, seeing where the light, the sun, how things grow. I watched. Since I had all that nature in front of me, like in the island, I just watched it all and I endured it all. And I shared it with everyone, with every little thing. And then I started going into the modern life, modern medicine, this changed the nature of things. And I saw that we gotten away from something, but something, the scantron it was amp. It was spread, and we found it in different places. And then there's other things where in the education part, when you wipe out people's education and they don't even educate on the things they were practicing on. This is how indigenous and medicine, where it originated comes from, starts eliminating itself from the practices in the institutions and what modern medicine is. And we just are born into this. So really, it's like I said, from a point of my life when everything just clicked, because I knew that when I was coming to the modern world or when products was coming in, I knew when you drink something that just came from the tree, or you drink something that has been diluted, has been chemicalized, the whole process changed the whole thing, and the experience and the health factor of it. It's dramatic. Is dramatic. Is really, really bad. It's harmful, life-threatening sicknesses and all. You see, we here now. There's nothing. We know. It's clear how our body works. So me having that nature, I understood it coming up. So I started seeing a lot of the things that they were really affecting me. And the more I said I needed to pay attention to my nature, I started talking to somebody like my psychologist at the time. And this is when I started feeling more of the target on me with the scantron and the authorities, with the self-imposed authorities that were holding me mentally, physically, economically, and socially. In between all of it, I'm seeing all these things that were happening. Since before, like, my grandmother was one of nature, one with God, and spiritually, like, the meditation was like immaculate. You would not, the vibration, you couldn't, like, it was unbearable. Like, you knew she was somewhere in the realms with God, like, you knew, like, off her prayers, off her presence, and everything how she presented herself as this energized person that will cater and nurture through anything. And then it was like the sea moss. She was doing that before any of us. She has a thing on top of the table. It's like she explained that it was alive. It's from the sea, and it was a sea moss, which is in there with the wand. I'm trying to see what is actually alive. Like, I didn't really get it at first. It was the plant itself, the sea moss. So all these things, all these practices with herbs and being within the nature of everything always kept everything like at one piece. Now, I started seeing different things like miscarriages, very close people to me too. I started seeing like different things with fatigueness. I started seeing my weight coming up. And when I said, damn, I need health, I said to myself, all right, I took myself like the essence of light and like probably what energy is. And it just took me through my whole time, me understanding what is food, what is energy, smelling the dirt, that it will come back to me. So I knew that it was the food. I knew it was the food from the jump. Like the vitamin water, they took that vitamin water out after a while, like, but before they took it out, I said miscarriage and all this stuff. And a lot of them are drinking that vitamin water. And not only that, I didn't really pinpoint it at that alone, but I think they stopped the selling of it. But I'm talking about like, this was like, what year was it? Probably 2003, I want to say. 2004. I just started, because I knew health and I knew that food was health, started looking at everything, and I wasn't even plant-based at the time. So I started having, because I even stopped, I started seeing how the animal is treated and how it's fed. And I'm like, the animal's full of chemicals. They feed them chemicals and they inject them with stuff too, hormones and chemicals. So I started eliminating that. Like right before I went to Spain. And it's all on the Facebook, my journey. It was right before I went to Spain. So all of this stuff was happening. The scantron, the food was getting, I already knew. And then I was gaining a lot of weight. And I would speak to my therapist about it. I'm like, I want to make this move because I've been doing exercise and I've been doing like my research on my body. Everything is coming to me about my nature that has to be of a natural base, because I come from that and I know that that's energy. My grandma, she always showed me, and she always healed. She always protected us. So I know that no matter what it's in me or people, whatever people say about certain like diseases and stuff, I knew that we already had the way to cure ourselves. That wasn't the issue. So I had to get to the source, and since the information wasn't like right there, and I saw that I had the answer within me because I cure for more, I said, and I'm with the all seeing eye. I said I'm with that. That's me. So that taken me, my body and everything all together, that I feel all the energy that came from that information to give me. So there's no people perishing that gave me this energy. It's all around. It's all around. Always. Infinity. So with that, I took that myself. I took myself into the path that I said. I sat down with my psychologist and I said, I'm going to move from this place right now, because I'm going to tell you right now, I've been doing everything, and I think I have to go to different places where I could nurture myself into an environment that is as given as equal as what I'm consuming. I am the consumer, and from the up above, the energy, that's the message. So I'm consuming the message of life, and I need to be within that path. So everybody around, like fams, was doing all their things. Like that was a time that when you in the early 20s, you learning what you're gonna start doing and focusing in life. And all the people that I was, like my cousins or friends, and everybody was just doing their own thing. And if we needed each other, we just, we link up and things like that. Although we knew that it was just time that we had to we had to keep it moving. We had to make that whole. And that whole means to go in your peace of mind, that the whole, but you go in that one piece of mind to collect yours, because you are here and descended within the regimes, within that light and that energy. So I moved accordingly. Now with the scantron in between, I'm not going to say that it was all perfect, although what is scantron? Scantron is something that's going to manipulate. It's going to go in between. They want a controversy. They need that, because if they don't have it, then they can't get in. So a lot of times it looked like I was being a problem, but I see how I could, when a test comes to play, and I know that people I could see the agenda of the person without them telling me their tests and how it goes. I'm like, I got to defend everybody from this. So the way I try to distance myself at the time with certain people, online, offline, it was like off. And that's all I could say. It was a little off. It's not the usual. It's for a good cause. Because I felt like if I'm being targeted, I'm like, get them away. And if I have to be like, maybe it wasn't the best things to say to you, maybe it was just not the nicest things to put out there, although in all good heart and to protect from the scantron, words did come out how you heard them. Things were said, and it was not to be manipulating myself, and not anybody else fall into what I felt like they were targeting me. I said, you come from me then, because we all got to do what we got to do regardless in our lives. So, everybody's in one piece with that. So if you wanna, and then they'll use what seemed to be the miscommunication or something that was off of me. They'll use it to their advantage. They're like, yeah, he's off. I mean, it's scantron. They're not part of you. They don't know you, but they use that. They know they're the ones that's starting the issue, and I'm acting a little different. They don't know, because at first they don't know that I'm already catching on to their bull, to the infiltrate. So I'm like, boom, boom. Let's go, like, boom. Now you feel like, but, in their way, they're like, well, you see, he's acting like that. We got to protect all this thing. So it's like a double-edged sword type stuff. But to know that, that I know that if you need to, I let that be that, what? If you're gonna go there, you're gonna try to infiltrate. You wanna deal with anybody. You want to deal with me. That's all I was saying. No hard feelings for nobody. That's all I was saying. You gonna deal with me straight, and that's it, straight. Because I'm not about that. I'm not. Never ever. So I had to keep it moving like that, right? I'm my own person. I got to keep myself sane. I got to keep myself well. There was maybe some things that were a little bit, maybe they felt like it was over-exaggerated. all in good hands. God got us. So I sat down with my therapist, and we had this talk. She was like, you know what? You say you want to move out of here, so where are you going to go? I said, I'm thinking Spain. I'm saying we speak the same language, and then, it has a lot of history out there. And I'm going towards a natural way, right? A lot of the food I could see, hey, it says made in Spain. A lot of these things are, they from different places and things. I'm like, maybe it's easier for me to eat smooth over there and keep a vibe on where I know where my energy, where how I know I'm gonna eat different, and I'm gonna get rid of. Did you see the weight I put on? If I show you a clip, matter of fact, I could go back to it's all in my Facebook because I took a few pictures. Because I was like, you know what, I am a little bigger now, and I am going through something right now. And I know I'm going to get better, but hey, here I am, like bigger Danny. You're never probably going to see this because I'm most likely going to like get rid of it soon. But it was not happening. Let me tell you, it wasn't happening. Like, I did a lot of exercise every day. I don't like the gym, so I'm not going to be lifting and things. You know that since high school. I always skip that. But that doesn't mean that I was the weakest, though. Anyways, I'm just saying, I had to feel comfortable with myself, and I didn't because I was gaining more than what I was like losing. I was putting my sneakers on, and I had to take the shoelaces out. I was like, damn, because I had them on one day, and then I tried to tie my sneakers. I just bent down to tie them, but the weight on me and everything was like. It was like almost like it was almost like building like one of those, like another neck. And for me to wait, I never weighed like more than like 100, like 85, 90 to like that to the most. And then, I'll go down to between 150 to 90. So when I go lower than that, I'm like, I gotta be careful and stuff like that. Although, what happens is like there's like borderline at 135 around there. But look, where we at? Oh yeah, so I'm like, this thing is like I'm not eating any of the artificial animals and stuff like that, and I'm gonna keep doing that. So I had a talk. I'm like, I'm gonna eat this certain way, and not only that, medicine, everything, and I'm gonna go out there. And then my therapist was like, you know what you gonna do with your therapy and the medicine? I was like, look, I've been looking at all these things, and I believe in the remedies of natural healing. I have this from my roots. This is indigenous from my ancestors and all. So I know that like these other countries, they can't provide. I keep looking around in the other side, like I could come around things. They'll be already like more present and more vibrant for me to be able to find my way through it. But I'm gonna look right through it. I have a couple of leads here and there on what to do with that, as far as the medicine. And I'm meditating. You showed me a lot of my the pressure points and the triggers, and we learn from each other how to manage my anxiety and how to manage myself when I come into like any of my mental symptoms that I need to be aware, and all of it if I'm aware of, so I know what all my triggers. So I'm not gonna see any of these things come to an issue when my body is gonna be vibrant with the frequencies that it needs, and it's gonna be healing. And she was like, she was just shaking her head, like she didn't say nothing for like a few seconds. And I'm like, why? What are you thinking? She's like, no, I'm shaking my head because, I agree with you. I agree with you that you can find a way that you could find whatever medicines you're taking, you could find a natural way. I've been around it. I know people that do practice, and it's a possibility that you know that these paths they're very healthy. So I agree that you can do that. And then how you gonna talk? How you gonna be meditating? You keep meditating and you keep doing your practices and everything that we learned. I know that you're not the type to start any issues, and a lot of it is just inflicted towards you to begin with, whether it's coming in a manipulated way, with the authority, with the scantrons and participants, although like you well kept very well. So I don't think that this is a move that it's like out of his mind, or you haven't even thought about it and planned anything. But the way you laid everything out to me, what you're gonna do about money, what you're gonna do about your health, what you're gonna do with your future, you laid everything down to me. So I can't say that this is more than what I would just I would just, like, if I was just to go up and go, you kind of like you took it like there. You got everything packed and I'm like, yeah, I do. Like when you go to my house, I have everything packed already. And these keys right here, I'm gonna leave it under the rug and call the landlord, have them pay for the whole whatever I have owed, and then I'm out. And that's exactly what I did. And boy, that's why when I said that I've been to different places and I poked different things, the things that I had endured, because that's what I was looking for. The first thing I was doing, well, I did 11 miles, 22 miles a day through Spain, Barcelona. Like 16, 17 hours. I don't know. It was a lot of hours. But as soon as I hit, the air took my breath, and like I enhanced another breath, and it was a totally different environment. I knew from right there that the energy was different. It's just like when you go to the Caribbean, it happens to be, it comes to you. You could feel it. You could feel something different in the air, and you could feel it in how you breathe it in, and you endure what from the earth to what the universe is bringing in. You could feel the difference. So this was like another difference, and I have felt that, and from there, like everything I was eating, and that long hike that I was taking, I was looking at all the little towns all around. Like I got to know it because I walked, or fast walked, exercise all through that whole 11. I'll go 11 miles and end up in the beach. And when I get to the beach, you see that picture is in the Facebook. I put that with my hair, like I'm thinking I have a beach hat or something, a black beach hat with a pen, because I was doing production, I was doing things. When I stopped, as soon as I stopped, I just jumped in the water. I jumped in the water and I cooled that 11 fast walk pace walk, and I cooled it down. Now I sit down. I opened the producing app on the phone, or I had my laptop, and I was teaching myself how to produce and make beats and stuff like that. And so I wrote a lot of stuff. That's why you see that picture with me and with the pen in my mouth. So I started losing weight. I think I weighed like 270 something, 250 for sure. And I was only weighing like 140 when I was like before the gain of the weight. And so imagine that's like 110 pounds in just like a month. The last thing I couldn't even do anything. I remember I went back to see my like people I haven't seen for a little minute. Some of my indigenous companions out here. I ended up, going out for a little party and a get together, and they had a beautiful gathering there, and my significant other, the significant others came around, they dancing, and I'm like, damn, I can't even do that. But we used to get down on the floor, and I'm like, that's my boy, you know what I mean? It felt like, one piece always, we keep it 100. So I remember the couples were married, and we used to be together, all of us. So that, he put his concern. Yeah, I remember you guys think we married now. Like, I'm like, my guy, like we already we established that, because let me just quickly, because once you understand that it's all love and nothing happened before, it's not gonna happen again. And that whole thing with who's with who, it was always who's with who and who's taking care of who. It was never, let me take advantage of, who cares about this person's feelings? It was always, everybody's feelings was taken care of. Whoever ended up with who at the end, everybody's feelings were taken care of. Like, we wouldn't have no hard feelings about nobody. We would have more hard feelings if one of us was hurt. And if anybody with us felt hurt, that's why everybody ended up good at the end, because we want everybody to be good at the end. No matter who it would be, we all happy when we all happy for each other. So that's that. And it was just a beautiful experience. I wanted to, I knew I was gonna, I had to make my situation better. I saw a few people before I left. It was nice, but I had to get back to my, I couldn't even get, back to, things I like to do, and then being around people. I felt like I was a little, I could have been a little more, interactive, but because of my conditions, I wasn't, I can't just throw myself on something, I got to take care of myself while I make sure everybody else is good, But I had to really, I said it was going to be, it was good seeing people, and I have to go, but it's for the better. It's for the better. I better myself. Whatever I teach myself, I learn. I come back, and you know what? We even teach each other better. Or if I don't come back, wherever we are, it's all love. It's all honey. And so that's the piece that I always kept with the people around where I was, from where I grew up, from where I moved around and lived in different places in the U.S. or in the islands. This is how, which is blessing, keeping our indigenous, together, and that scantron out away. So we was nice about I was good out there. I started noticing a lot about the energy, and then I was like, this is myself. I'm not getting into anything with a significant other, and just seeing. I was seeing things that I knew that could lead to giving a life, if I pregnancy, stuff like that. So in situations where if I meet somebody, and there was situations where I knew that wasn't the move. So I'm looking at we in the waterfalls and in a pool, And then it's like out of the area where the party is, and then like all of a sudden like a glaze of light from under the waterfalls. I'm looking under the waterfalls. I'm like, that's nice. Let me go under there. And this like an angel came out with the hair wet coming under the water. I guess she was exploring what was that light, and that's what sparked, you know. And I'm like looking, and I'm looking away, like I'm looking, and then I look down. I look at her body, and then I start seeing like the energy of like the egg, like ovulating and or like, you know, getting ready. You know, I'm like, why am I seeing this? I'm like, damn, that's just in my mind, you know? And then I look at her, and she's staring at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is why I'm seeing this. And then it's telling me, no, it's not in your mind. Her egg is ready, or will be ready. So this is what is happening. This thing is activating right now. So I'm looking, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I'm doing. Then my brain's like, bingo. So snap out of it. And I'm like, you're gazing at her too, because you're feeling the energy. It's a good, strong vibration. Although you're not going to give that energy out, because that's not what you need to gain that energy. And when you do give that energy, it's because you made that commitment to yourself. So you're going to give the 100. You're going to give that 100. It's about giving that 100. So you give that acknowledgement of wellness, a high, a wellness, a good treat, and all. Although that's not it right there. So I have to take myself out of little situations that way. It's like a lot of energy there, like, because at that moment it was just like, all right, so I had to like break out of it, like, you know, because at any given moment the energy speaks, and then when things are being spoken and acted out, then that's another day. You know, that's another story. Probably adding more life to it. So I just took upon myself to keep my peace and know that my wellness is my wellness for everybody else. I kept it moving, and by the time I came to see, like, by like 30 days, I had gotten rid of 100 pounds. I went back. I was like 160. I was like, damn. I'm like, I knew it was gonna work. I knew there was something going, that I knew that the way I was eating, the air, or all this thing that was processing, that I knew that I had to get more in touch with myself and my body. I knew that it was gonna make a difference. It's gonna be better. It was nothing crazy. It was all out of wellness and well-being. I'm educating myself. I'm learning that the energy is within one to put out, and I want it to be 100. And